All right, boom, we're back. Okay, yeah, so today we're going to be covering what's going on with Swiftstyle and Gemini. So, Gemini Mixers, the world famous company that everybody knows, actually jacked Swiftstyle's picture from his website and then switched his Raiden mixer picture with the new Gemini little mini mixer, right? So we're gonna go through that. We're gonna talk about that and ramifications of this, of gear companies kind of watching turntablism and jacking from it, and then that whole kind of like dichotomy. Um, let's actually press play. All right.
It was just brought to my attention that Gemini is selling the MM1 on Amazon, and that's all good. But what's not all good is if you scroll through the product photos, you will see this. If you don't recognize it, that is my photo. That's a video I did with the Raiden.
All right, so it's also important to note that Gemini has since apologized. He said Gemini has reached out, apologized, removed this picture from their Amazon listing. But if you go to other sites and stuff like that, you're gonna see it. Whoops, that's my actually first mixer. I was gonna add that to this lecture because this is my first mixer. It was a horrible mixer, and it was whack when I got it, and I was so happy to get an '06 Pro after this. But yeah, that was my first mixer in the '90s. But yeah, so yeah, if you search for the mixer on the internet, you see right here, people are using the picture now for for their thumbnails. So it's still on Amazon Canada. You can see that picture right there, and on these and other people are using it on other sites. And what's interesting, I just clicked on this guy's thing on YouTube. This was a YouTube tutorial from 2 years ago. I'm not even gonna click on this right here. This was a YouTube tutorial from 2 years ago, and the guy actually just, I guess he photoshopped, um, photoshopped it even further, right? Because it's like this is looking like he's actually somebody's actually scratching with it, right? That's a whole nother level because this is obviously this is Freddie's famous kind of really super clean setup. Swift Style is known for not only his clean setup, but his clean, very clean phrase cuts, and battle records. Really dope stuff. He's definitely remember before I was saying there's like 15 table lists that I actually check for as far as technique and studying them and stuff like that. And Swift Style is one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, Swift Styles is definitely up there. He's one of the illest. So shout out to Swift Style. But yeah, so let's finish the rest of this. But yeah, this is just really, really, really interesting because to see, especially in this era of AI, maybe Gemini just used AI and it just searched it on the net and they switched it. But I doubt they used AI for it. They obviously had a designer go in there and switch Swift Style's original Raiden picture with the Gemini. But let's go back to this.
In RPM100, straight jacked. Obviously, they photoshopped it to say Gemini. Yo, this is not cool, but whatever. I mean, if you need product photos, Gemini, just hook me up, send one out, I'll hook you up. Actually, don't do that. I probably wouldn't hook you up after this. Plus, that's not a cut mixer, so why would you even put it with this setup? Anyway.
And that's an important note, right? Gemini mixers suck for cutting, right? It's. All right, so
Best of luck to you guys. So it was just brought to my attention.
all right, and we're gonna look at some of the comments. This is just a real quick story, but it's really important for turntablism because it's like we see turntablism growing, and I mean obviously turntablism's always been here, but turntablists have created their own culture, their own their own markets, their own marketplaces, right? And yeah, it's just really interesting that Gemini was watching him and being like, okay, this is hot. Let's flip it. You know what I'm saying? Let's actually switch his photo and doctor his photo and see if anybody notices. I guess that some intern or designer or whatever that works for them thought nobody would notice. But yeah, you can see that, yeah, they switched it right here, right? it's like you see the cut and paste, you see the table beats. Shout out to table beats and shout out to cut and paste. But yeah, so yeah, it's very very interesting. And also on the note on the topic of loopers, actually, shout out to all the PMOS 100 supporters. We're actually going to be coming out with PMOS 100 loopers. So not only can you scratch with the with our new app, we're going to be doing we're going to be jumping into the looper industry as well, with all different types of loopers, and we can change the speed just like this classic loopers and stuff like that. But yeah, so let me see. So look, is there anything I haven't covered? Oh yeah, so if you look at the actual Gemini Instagram right here, it's kind of funny because I just wanted to show y'all this. Right, who does this look like right here? Somebody was saying that A-Track got his style from George Michael, and you can see there's this guy right here, and he's dressed like that A-Track kind of style with the A-Track was doing like a decade ago or decade and a half ago with this like leather jacket and you know that whole kind of style. But this is also kind of interesting too, right here. This Flash Former, because this is what KRS-One's been doing all these hip hop lectures for decades and decades, giving people misinformation, and we're gonna be going into all that stuff, all this stuff that KRS-One's been saying that's incorrect. Because at TTM Academy we're the apex of hip hop science, and being at the highest level of hip hop science, we're going to be going into breaking down every high level hip hop conversation, right? So that includes, history talks, mixer talks. And yeah, so KRS-One was saying that Grandmaster Flash invented the crossfader, which he didn't. He didn't. There was already mixers with crossfaders happening when Flash came in the scene. He didn't invent the crossfader, but he did come out with this mixer with Gemini, and that's kind of what KRS-One was embellishing. But that's a whole nother lecture. But also, if you go to the Wayback Machine, I searched it to see if that you could still find the picture of Gemini, Jack, and Swiftstyle, but you can't find the picture. It's totally gone. I mean, they never copied it. I guess Wayback Machine doesn't copy Amazon, but it's still so this is the actual Gemini site. You can see they eliminated the picture. It was a picture that was like right here, and they deleted it, right, with due to his requests, right. But yeah, it's just kind of very ironic, and also let me just talk about this right here from a couple years ago. um, in 2020, Swiftstyle was saying he had never heard of TTM. And then, a year later, or I don't know, 2 years later, he's selling TTM uh, products, this particular battle record by Skills and Grems. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting for him to say he's never ever heard of it in 2020. And I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I don't know if he was being sarcastic. But yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to go into that because it's very important, especially what happened with me and Rain Mixers. For people that don't know, I had settled with Rain Mixers for using my TTM notation in their tremolo section in their mixer in their Rain 72. And I had them delete the firmware, and they deleted it, and created an update a couple weeks later, and with the firmware fix where they deleted my notation from their tremolo section in their mixer in the effects section, right. But yeah, so let's look at some of these comments. So update, Gemini has reached out, apologize, remove this picture from their Amazon listing. You have Gemini, you have some explaining to do. As a small business owner, I pride myself in supporting other small businesses like Raiden Audio. Photoshopping a screen grab from a promotional video I made from them is blatant plagiarism, right? But we know that, remember, I had contacted, him and some other distributors of that Grims and Skills record about, just kind of capitalizing off of TTM without any kind of like nod or credit. just kind of, faking the funk or whatever. But I know Swiftstyle has a lot of Tableist fans, and I'm a big fan of his work. But on the TTM issue, that's a whole nother thing. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Swiftstyle, and actually, I would definitely, go to him to get pressings. I'm actually gonna holler at him because we're actually gonna be dropping the clear vinyl that, now that Skater Girl is on iTunes. I mean, Apple TV, Tubi, Mosaic TV. It's on a lot of different networks and channels. Roku, a bunch of Roku channels and things like that. Oh, this is Dopez is also one of my top 15 tablists in the world that I study. But yeah, so let's see. Gemini just full of gaps. No one at that company has any idea about DJing anymore. Dopez says, "Get 'em. I ain't talking about the Toll Style record." Uh, does anyone know what happened to Raiden Audio? Yeah, I'm curious with that. I actually lost my Raiden fader. I can't even find it. But shout out to the Peruvian cut killer fader. I'm sorry, killer fader. I'm looking at it right now. Killer fader. I just got one of those. So, but yeah, I don't know what I do. I lost my rating. Uh, let's see. People are like, damn, wow, no bueno, right? Crazy, right? People are just like, whoa, whoa. Paul Scratch, shout out Paul Scratch. All right. Amazon actually has allowed other sellers to add pictures or descriptions to the listing, so it may be a third-party Amazon seller doing this. Well, no, he contacted them and they took it down. Is it from Gemini directly or is it random third-party seller shop? I've been sitting stock up to 8 Amazon for about 5 years. This is so common, full of fake products and fake reviews too. They're so big now. That's what's really interesting about this photo. This one right here, like, because now people on the net are using his thing, and it's probably going to be there, might be there forever, because now that that picture exists, you see somebody's using it right here on Groupon, somebody's using it on Amazon Canada, somebody's using it here on YouTube, which is funny because if you click on this guy, I said I wasn't going to click on it, but I'm going to click on it just so you see that this guy did a review 2 years ago, and obviously that picture is not from 2 years ago, and he just saw that and thought like, hey, this could add some, more views to my video, better thumbnail type of a thing. But yeah, it's just kind of silly. But yeah, so let's look at let's go back. Let's see, we're right here. Um, oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're done. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. But yeah, so and also for the we're gonna be going into this new we're about to drop the new update for the PMOS 100, the actual I think 1.4 version. We're at 1.3 now, but the 1.4 version is crazy because we got a new audio engine in there, so the audio quality is better, sharper, and it also we've perfected the loop functionality. The loop had a little glitch in it before where if it was looping like on an arpeggiator mode, it would actually there would be a little bit of space in between each loop that was annoying me, and my dev finally got that fixed, and now we added a new button to it called a loop lock button, to where you can just press a button and then it'll keep looping that, and you don't have to touch the keyboard. So instead of just being like an arpeggiator loop function that we had before, where you could hold down the button and it would keep looping, now you can just press the loop lock and you can hold down loops. That's why we're going to drop the looper version of the PMOS 100. So we're going to be dropping a lot of different versions, and first we're actually going to be doing a lot of things like based on genre, like, okay, 100 jungle breaks, 100 electro breaks, 100 different types of genres and things like that, more genre specific things. But yeah, so it just goes to show that these gear companies, they're literally watching turntablism, and they're literally trying to jack artists. So shout out to Swiftstyle for actually calling them out and actually getting them to jump on it and change things. Let me see the rest of this. Like Bernie Mac said in the Players Club, welcome to the stripper game partner. When DJs make those scratch break records, they don't get any of those samples cleared from the original artist. Think about it. Fab Five Freddy would be a trillionaire, right? With the fresh sound and all that stuff. Which is actually funny that he brings up Bernie Mac. Because let me see. Let me type Bernie Mac. Let's see if I type Bernie Mac DJ Raiden. Let's see what happens. Yep, you can find it. Look, so for those that don't know, I was in rest in peace to Bernie Mac. I was in this movie called Old Dogs with Robin Williams and Bernie Mac and what's the guy, Pulp Fiction guy. Let me click on this. This is funny because I was on stage with, I was in Bernie Mac's band in the movie. John Travolta was the other one. Yeah, John Travolta was in the movie. Pulp Fiction, John Travolta. And Grease, for those that remember. The older people. But, and, as turntablists, we're generally older people. But yeah, I was Bernie Mac's DJ in the movie, and that's Bernie Mac right there on the left with he's got like some bell bottoms on and like a 70s kind of bell bottom jumpsuit outfit, and then there's all these like weird animals on stage playing these weird instruments, and it was like and I was the DJ.